Hello and welcome to another episode of Go and Make. I'm Andrew Crabtree and this is Ryan Wagner.
Hey there.
Today our guest was Amy Waid.
Yeah, Amy was great. She had a lot to share. She lives in a space called Outreach Strategies with Jesus Film Project, which is really about bringing all that media and content that we have out there that Jesus Film Project kind of provides, but helps the rubber hits the road there for people and get them to using and implementing a lot that's there.
Talked about really exciting topics like Go 2020, YouVersion collaboration, which I thought was really neat, and then even a short film contest. So I think you're really going to like it, and I think we'll start that right now. Live it up, live it up, live it up, live it up.
All right, welcome to this next episode of Go and Make. This is Ryan, we got Andrew,
Hello.
And this conversation this week we have Amy Waid. Amy, welcome to Go and Make.
Thank you.
You've been on staff for how many years
32.
now? 32 years.
Yeah.
Not all with Jesus Film Project.
That's just a crew.
Just with crew.
That's with crew.
Yep.
And what other how long have you been with Jesus Film Project?
Like over 25.
Okay.
Yeah, started in the campus ministry.
Okay.
In Madison, Wisconsin, and then came to Jesus Film after that.
Madison,
UW.
Wisconsin to Orlando.
Well, actually by way of Moscow and then California, then Orlando, but all Jesus Film.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, all right. There's faster ways,
Yeah.
but that's
Yeah.
that's teach
Flight miles.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome to the show. On the show, we kind of dig into a little bit about like what it is that you do on staff with Jesus Film Project. We also have hopes of having other people that are kind of outside of just our Jesus Film Project bubble on as well. But for today, you serve on the Global Mobilization team.
That's right.
And you serve on this outreach strategies component of that. Tell us a little bit about that and what that means.
Yeah, Outreach Strategies is the team that creates content around our media. So just like any new content that could be used for outreach, for evangelism, for discipleship, that's what we do.
So are you creating the media or are you using the media that other teams are creating and then trying to find ways to advance it?
Yeah, the second.
Okay.
So using the existing media and then just figuring out creative ways to use it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So where have you seen that, and what does that look like? Because this team hasn't. How long has this team been around, and what is that?
Yeah, only a year.
Okay, so this is a relatively
brand
new thing.
new.
So
Yeah.
all right, so then what's? I mean, we kind of touched on what it's meant to do. So what are some things that you guys have done over the last year, and things that are you're like, man, this is exciting. I'm glad I'm a part of it.
Wow, we have literally probably 12 projects that we're working on.
Okay.
So
12.
it's a
many
great
do you have
juggling project.
Probably less than 12.
Okay. 12. All right.
Yeah, but we have some that are very important. So we're trying to finish them out by the end of May. Some of the ones that get me most excited are this Create Film Contest.
Okay.
Woo,
Create Film
I
Contest.
have some handy
Look at
dandy
that.
props. Yeah.
All right. So create a short film contest. What?
Who's
Tell
that
us more
geared
about it.
towards? Yeah.
Yeah, for this contest, it was geared toward crew staff in the U.S.
Okay.
So crew staff in the U.S. could submit conversation starters under 5 minutes for this contest.
Were they filming it themselves and then submitting it? So it
Yep.
wasn't just the conversation starter. They were actually making a film.
We were actually inviting them to help create new content that represented where they were at their field, so all across the U.S.
How many submissions did you get?
For our first one, we got 10 submissions.
Okay.
So a good learning one. This was our theme: choose a word, create a film, win some cash.
Yeah.
So how we're not going to show any right now or anything like that, but
Not
because
quite
where
ready
are we
yet.
in the process of this contest?
So the winners have been picked.
Okay.
So we're really excited about that. We have 3 winners, and we will be unveiling them March 25th.
March 25th. So really, by the
Really
time that
close.
you're
By the
watching
time
this
this
right
is-
now, we will have that link kind of
Yeah,
on the bottom
perfect.
here, and they can hopefully be directed to be
Absolutely.
able to watch that.
So
Yep.
of the 10 submissions, do you feel like they captured the intent of the conversation starters? Where they, meet the need?
Yeah. Yeah, we had even within the 3 that won, there's a pretty good range. So one of them is just a 1-minute single shot with a phone, but a great conversation piece. Another one is a 5-minute one that tells a complete story about a woman. So that's kind of a cool piece. It's got some actually beautiful videography, uses some drone footage. It has a little bit more skills in the production.
Yeah.
And then the third one is like a spoken word piece, actually.
So you kind of mentioned part of your role is taking the content that others are making. So content was made, and now where are you sending that? Like where are these conversations going to be distributed through your team?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have a lot of conversations ahead about that. I'm hoping some of them will live on the app, so other people can utilize them. I'm hoping some can be used for different social media platforms that we have, and I've been in conversations with Autumn, who does that. And
Autumn's great.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm hoping people will just catch a vision for short films in general and choose to do maybe like an outreach using short films. So like hold your own little film festival, you know, at a coffee shop or at your church and invite people in and have
Very
dialogue
cool.
around it.
So what else is your team doing? So this is really exciting, and this is cool, and this is like a really unique, I would say creative way to generate some content. But what else is going on?
Yeah, so another thing we're doing is we're about to release some content to YouVersion. So we have 3.
I mean, YouVersion is huge.
Oh yeah.
I use it every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I hope you'll use these. So we're about to release 3 6-day reading plans.
Awesome.
Reading plans are a pretty hot thing right now. So I think, because correct me if I'm wrong, but there was some type of, we connected with YouVersion. That was one of the things that they're like, we just want more and more and more reading plans.
Totally.
So what
They
can
were
you do?
so
And I think
excited.
we were like, we don't have any. And so then here you are.
We do now.
So now
So where does it come from? Like who's writing that? Who's strategizing? What content's coming out of Jesus Film going to YouVersion?
Yeah, so the first pieces that we did, we have used Overthink, which is a writing group that we've used before with Jesus Film. They've kind of repurposed some of their material that they've written for us. And then one of them is a brand new one, one of the 3, and it actually, more props, comes from our women's film and women's
Magdalena.
accompanying Bible study, the story of Jesus through the eyes of Mary Magdalene and the women that Jesus touches. So a 6-day reading plan, 6 women that Jesus comes into contact with and how he
Very
changes
cool.
their lives.
Oh, I like that.
Okay, so there was that one. It was one of content that we've had that we've kind of made into a reading plan. Then what was the third one?
So we have this one, then we have one that is promises that Jesus' promises to us.
Okay.
And then we have one on how to make disciples.
Great. So what does that
those are
reading
the
plan
3.
look like? If someone were to want to check that out right now, they're watching, they're like, how do I find this reading plan? What do they do?
Yeah,
They go to YouVersion, of course.
You can go to
but-
YouVersion, search for Jesus Film. I think
Okay.
you're going to be able to pull them up that way. There's going to be a media piece at the top that will be a clip from one of our films or one of our media pieces that will go along with it. Then there's going to be like 2 to 3 different passages they can read and a short devotional that will go along with it.
And what's the timeline for that?
You mean to read through one of them?
To get it, it's
to
not live
get
now,
it done.
right?
It's not quite. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
The beginning of May for sure.
oh, sweet.
Maybe even the beginning of April.
So beginning of May, there's going to be 3, and then is that something you could, is there going to be more of those coming?
Yeah.
Is that kind of a plan?
Definitely. Yeah, we have a great blueprint now that we've worked with Overthink, and
Yeah, because
we
these are
have
all
some writers.
new ideas, right? So
Yeah,
we're trying to
brand
figure
new.
out what would be successful
Yep.
in this. I mean, because maybe some are like, yeah, this reading plan's amazing. This one's not getting the views maybe that we thought it might. So kind of like, what do we kind of keep figure out
Yeah.
and iterate? And
Yeah, and we have some great writers on our team.
yeah.
So I'm excited to be like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you? And we're repurposing even some of this content. Like we're going to be using it for our Go 2020 push. So we're going to make some of the content available like on different platforms, on our website, through social media. So it won't be just YouVersion.
So I'm passionate about the YouVersion aspect of this just because it's literally how I read my Bible every day.
That's
What
awesome.
other collaborations or what other outside organizations maybe do you work with to take some of the content and the media that's in here and use it to go out?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the projects that I'm helping to partner with is with SIM Canada, Sudan Interior Missions.
Okay.
And they have created a whole curriculum around our Gospel of John film. And it's a very seeker-friendly churches or maybe Western European kind of audiences. And it's going to be the piece for them that helps introduce people to who Jesus is. And so they're using our clips from YouTube, and this whole curriculum is going to be like a 30-part curriculum or something.
Wow.
Well, hey,
So-
earlier you mentioned Go 2020. What's that?
So Go
Tell us more about
2020,
that. Yeah.
it's an amazing outreach based on the Global Outreach Day that Crew has been a part of for a number of years in the month of May. And this year they're doing a whole month of outreach called Go 2020. And so
with the purpose of what? What's the idea of it?
the whole purpose is to reach like 10 million people.
Okay.
To encourage each person who comes on this website kind of catches the vision for reaching 10 people. And so there will be lots of resources on the website, like how to do evangelism, how to build people up in their faith and stuff. You can kind of click a little commitment thing. Yeah, I'm going to reach 10 people. And so Jesus Film in particular has taken on the commitment to reach 500,000 people.
Wow.
So yeah, look for that on our
as a part
website.
of Go 2020.
As a part of
this
Go 2020.
initiative.
Yep.
And that's a big thing that different organizations and ministries are a part of, right?
Yeah.
It's like huge.
It's huge.
Global.
It's very global. It's huge, but you do it right where you're at. So you don't have to actually go anywhere. You just kind of commit to doing it right where you're at. And there's a really good prayer piece to that, so everybody can pray. So
That's awesome. So you got that. We got this cooking. We got reading plans. We got Go 2020. What else is happening? I mean, do you, as you guys look at, because like you said, there's a new team, and you're looking at a year, 2 years, 3 years. I mean, what's
on the horizon?
Yeah.
Yeah, so another piece that we're working on right now is kind of a film festival-ish outreach that you can do using our own media. So it'd be like an hour outreach that would be centered around a theme. Right now we're calling it Story of the Soul. So it'd be centered around a theme, and it would start kind of a little bit more general with the media pieces and get closer to the heart as you go through it. And it would incorporate like some dialogue and some questions and that kind of thing. And
So I'll say that Story of the Soul is amazing. I mean, and I think anybody, so like if you're listening, I mean, it's just a great outreach. We did it in Colorado. So when my wife and I were on staff at University of Colorado, it's just one of those things where at a type of campus like University of Colorado, it was that type of event was just something that just brought people in, where you just pick different pieces of the whole concept is that what Amy was saying, like you pick this theme of say what's a theme like
forgiveness. Yeah.
Okay, so then you have this theme called forgiveness. You kind of title it maybe something different. You get people in, then you pick pieces of media that have to do about forgiveness. And they could be anything from a John Mayer song to a clip from a Oscar-winning film, or a piece of poetry, or a painting, or anything like that. And but all those segments really have to do about forgiveness. And then there's like a MC, and you have broken up tables, and you kind of talk about this concept of forgiveness. And then the idea is to, through that process, be able to say like, the idea of forgiveness is a part of like human nature. Like there is a fractured sense, and we all long to be healed in that way. And so then you can have like this testimonial kind of piece throughout it, and then so we've seen churches do it and all over the country.
It's really cool.
It's a really amazing thing that really ties the power of media and these modes of expressionism, of like song and all these different, and brings the arts into the place. It's really awesome. So I'm excited about what that is going to look like in the next year or 2 years for
Me too.
For Jesus Film Project. It's going to be awesome.
The one that will be on our website will use our media, just for kind of legal reasons, but there will be a how to create your own. So really anybody will be able to go on our website and download this how to create your own Story of the Soul. They'll be able to pick their own kind of media that they want to use and do a little outreach.
It's cool because it just crosses over cultural boundaries so easily, because it's a structure that just allows another culture to just like, oh yeah, this type of art, these type of conversations, these types of themes are going to resonate with us than maybe this culture. But it has that template that just works beautifully. Well, I love Story of the Soul.
Yeah, it is a good piece. Right? It's a great piece.
It's cool, yeah.
As we're wrapping up, I think that like painted a really good picture of what you're doing, what your team's doing. As we wrap up, what ways can maybe somebody at home that's interested, like how can they be praying for you, or how can they help support?
Oh, that's such a great thing to ask. Thank you. Yeah, be praying that we stay encouraged as we work on these projects. Honestly, there's just a lot of bumps in the road when you're working on a project like this, and so we just need a lot of wisdom. We need a lot of encouragement in that. Yeah.
Well, we can do that.
Yeah, well, your team's doing an awesome job, and I know we kind of overlap and interact every once in a while. And it's always good to be like, because it's always like freshness, you know, that comes out of this little area of
That's great.
Jesus Film Project. So
we appreciate you being here. This was fun.
Thanks so much. Great to meet you.
Yeah, thanks for the time. And for you guys watching, anything that we kind of mentioned here, we're going to link in the bottom, and you can see the contest winners, or maybe by the time it goes, maybe the reading plans too. So we'll keep you guys in the know. Leave comments on the bottom. Let us know how it's going and any questions you might have. And
thanks for watching.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Yeah.